Hello there. This is gonna be an extremely scuffed video, but I kinda like this format, I don't know. I thought I would innovate a little. You don't really see my face because I couldn't get a good angle, but you know, let's just say that that's a good thing. I don't think anyone would mind not seeing my face. This is a channel that I made because I kinda just wanna do things. There's gonna be very little focus on quality. If there was focus on quality, this intro would have been like 5 seconds long. But here I can do whatever I want. I was too lazy to unscrew the tripod from my microphone, so this is gonna be me talking about things that fascinate me for some reason, right? I want to make a video about this guy and also BFDI maybe later. This one is gonna be about Wonderworld by John Laurel. Can you see it? John Laurel, 6.44 subscribers. 2 times more than I have. 137 videos. 2 times more than I have. So it was September 17th, I believe, 2022. And YouTube gave me a certain video. By the way, this is completely unscripted. It's probably gonna show, but you know, I'm completely fine with talking on camera, unlike you, Gabriel. I think it was this one. So I clicked on it because two things. I like Deltarune and I like 2007. I watched it and I was like, it's not really what I expected it to be, but it was still alright. To be honest, I have no idea where this is going. I completely forgot what the content of this video is. Oh, for fuck's sake. And so I thought, okay, that's, weird, but you know what, sure, let's check his channel, right? And I was like, oh damn, this guy is making like a lot of Deltarune custom stuff. That's pretty cool. And I was scrolling through his videos. What the fuck happened? Dude, fuck off. This format is single-handedly the biggest mistake I've ever made in my entire life. So the video is titled Wonderworld Demo Game Trailer. And I was like, holy shit, this guy made a whole game? He made a whole game. And so I thought, I can't not check this out, right? This is pretty fascinating stuff. I mean, it looks surprisingly decent, doesn't it? And I was like, okay, there seems to be quite a lot of content. I don't know how well this trailer represents that. This looks good, but oh, I think that's enough. I don't remember this part at all. That caught me off guard a little. And I thought, okay, this game looks good, but I would assume that there's maybe like 10 minutes of actual content, and that this trailer just makes it look like there's way more stuff going on than there actually is, and that this trailer is like 50% of all the content that you get in the game. The game takes like 2 hours to beat. It takes 2 hours. Even when I replayed it, it took me 2 hours. How? Huh? This guy, right, is like a random, I think, 14-year-old from Brazil or something. And he makes like a full-fledged game. I played it like that very day. I downloaded it off of a link in the description. It's literally an itch.io game. I was looking at the screenshots, I was looking at the comments. I decided to play it, and I mean, the quality, let's just say, is very inconsistent. Some bits are fantastically done, some not so much. So, what is the plot summary of Wonderworld? Cool, so this is the main guy, right? This is like a little kid. We don't know much about him. I think we know his name, but I forgot. And you like wake up in some weird ass dungeon, and you don't really know what's going on. Then you meet, go back, place, then you meet this guy, Ronald. He's like the main, I don't want to say antagonist, it's like you're presented as the bad guy and all of these are presented as like the good guys. It's very similar to Undertale. If you've played Undertale, basically all humans were wiped out in this universe as far as they all know, except this kid. He's just a normal guy, a human, and they're like, what the fuck, where did you come from? Ronald is like the main guy of that area. I don't really know what his position is actually called, but he's like important and strong and whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna prevent you from you know, killing someone or something, because you humans are dangerous. I don't know why you are still alive. I thought humans were wiped out, but I'm gonna get rid of you, right? But yeah, the game is mostly just plot-wise Ronald saying, okay, you know what? You haven't really looked like you're about to kill anyone just yet. So maybe I'm gonna give you a chance, but do not, whatever you do, do not go further, right? Do not exit this area. I will not let you in. I will not let you past the gate that I have to like keep track of. Protect, that's the word, protect. You keep going towards the gate, and Ronald is like, can you stop, please? Like, yeah, still you haven't really hurt anyone, but you're kind of suspicious in a way. You're in all sorts of wacky situations that Ronald misunderstands as you being violent, and then you have to explain that you weren't really doing anything. Okay, this... Why is everything an Among Us reference? But yeah, eventually you do approach the gate, and Ronald is like, okay, you know what? That's it, I'm gonna battle you. This is a scene from the final battle. Then you win, inevitably. And he's like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna let you, I guess, go. You know, whatever. What am I gonna do? Kill you? No. Never. I would never. I don't really know why he eventually changes his mind. It seems a bit, illogical. Maybe that's just me being stupid, whatever. But yeah, the plot itself is not really anything too interesting, revolutionary, or anything. But it's like, this game is supposed to be like part 1 of X. It's called the demo, right? The demo itself is 2 hours long, again, but I think it serves as basically like part 1 of however many, because the main protagonist's goal is to see all the 7 wonders of the world. That's why it's called Wonderworld. I personally find that quite interesting. I don't know why. I think it's cool despite not being anything too crazy either. I think it's like, I don't know, it rubbed me the right way, unlike some other things in this game, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, that's like the motivations of the motivations of Ronald, and there's not really much else going on, so I'm gonna move on to the experience. I have literally nothing to play on this TV except the trailer, because I don't know, I couldn't really be bothered to upload my own gameplay footage, so this is all I have to work with. But in terms of gameplay, it's, well, there is a lot of walking, like a whole lot of walking, and I mean, I guess that's normal for an RPG, but god damn, there's no way to run, you can only walk. I would personally increase the walking speed a little. Every now and then you get like a special cutscene or a puzzle, but even the puzzles are extremely repetitive. This is one of the kinds of puzzles where you have to collect fireflies and you put them in like a bottle, and when you get enough, a bridge will appear. This is a thing that happens like maybe, I don't know, 3-4 times in the game. There's another puzzle which just consists of you having to interact with every tree in that room, if you get what I'm saying. And some of them have like a hidden button, which is also just a rip-off of Undertale. And it gets a bit annoying as well. It's just like you're walking, and then eventually you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, there's like a thing preventing me from getting further. So you have to go back, you have to talk to all the trees. Some of them go, once you hear enough times, the gate will open. So it was nothing too thrilling, to be fair. Like, hello? Oh. That could have been communicated better. The battles, as you can see, are basically just Undertale. The attack option is not really a thing yet. It used to be that John Laurel couldn't really be bothered to deal with that in the demo. So all you can really do is try to interact with the monsters. You can heal yourself, and then eventually, once the battle is over, you get to run away, which is called Faith instead of Spare or Mercy, as opposed to Undertale. The way you spare or like end a battle in this game is that the character gives the monster a flower. It's like this weird gray, I think, silver-ish flower, and it's just like, ¿Quieres? It looks extremely funny to me, but at the same time I also think it's surprisingly nice. I don't know why, but I like that idea quite a lot. The hitboxes are actually good, and the gameplay is mostly fair. There are some rather unfair bits, but it's surprisingly decent. Though I have to say, they tend to be a bit like repetitive, and they don't really have much going on. Some of them have multiple attack patterns like this fight, but there are some, I guess this is one of them. Well, I'm not sure, but let's say, right, this monster only has this one attack. Just imagine the same attack over and over, and it's like super simple, and you just go up, down, up, down, up, down, over and over and over, and the monster is talking about their life problems, and you're just like, ah! So, in terms of gameplay, it's somewhat good. Could be a little better. The one part that I really like is the fight with Ronald. The Ronald fight, okay, it is quite long, but it's not too repetitive, and it's pretty enjoyable to me. Moving on. For the most part, the visuals are pretty damn fucking good. I would point out that I think John Laurel's biggest strength is like wall tiles and ground tiles. Those are always good, and also the like special effects and UI and everything. Oh, I remember this. Some parts of this look way cooler than they have any right to be. Like this one. This is an example of, okay, not the prettiest area in the game. Alright, man, I guess this is all I have to work with. You can see that the environment actually looks pretty nice. It has nice colors and texturing. The things that I would point out John lacks in a little is, well, first of all, anything plant related. Like, as you can see, the trees just look super awkward, and I think he might wanna try to get some references and practice, well, anything organic basically. As you can see, these trees are also super unnatural and just a bit ugly in general. Here's another shot proving my point. This guy is not the best at trees. It's just a weird green mess copy pasted over and over. And also the characters. Right, like, what is this? What is this character art? Why does he look like that? They all built super weird. I mean, fucking hell, that's supposed to be a cat. It looks quite charming, but that's not a cat. That's just la creatura. That's all that is. I'm losing my voice. My next point, the OST. Okay, so listen to the first track in this OST, right? Oh, that's way too loud. One sec. You can clearly tell that it's very Undertale inspired, just like everything else about the game. And also Deltarune inspired. For example, this is clearly just a ripoff of Once Upon a Time. But this sounds a bit shit, doesn't it? And I have a theory that this is John Laurel's, well, one of his first songs that he ever made. I feel like this soundtrack is just like a documentary of his improvement at making electronic music. This being one of the first things he's ever made. I'm probably wrong about that one, but that's just how it comes across. Because the soundtrack just keeps getting better and better. Somehow. So as soon as we get to the second song, already slight improvement. This is clearly a ripoff of Start Menu. So this one is already like somewhat tolerable. Like, I can imagine someone listening to this. So this is one of the overworld themes. And this one, I think, is one of the better songs in the OST, I guess. Like, it doesn't really do anything right or wrong. It's just, I guess, lawful neutral of the OST. I'd say it does its job pretty well. I wouldn't really listen to this, but then again, I don't think that's the point of specifically this track anyway. It's nice. There's a bit of distortion when there are these timpani, or whatever it's called, the hit. The gong things. But aside from that very slight mixing issue, it's good. This one, well, this is just a ripoff of the Undertale fight song. This one is very, very close to its Undertale counterpart. My man couldn't really have gone too wrong with that one. These ones are all alright, they're fine and everything. This one I can't help but feel like it's just the most basic swing rhythm. Like it's basically just a walking bass with the melody being very, very similar to the bass. It's just, you know, doesn't really have a whole lot going on. I'm not a fan of this one. This one is whatever, doesn't matter. Again, this one doesn't matter that much. This theme plays in like one room, I think. But listen to this next one. Ronald's battle theme. Why is this so good? How is this so good? Let's wait for the main melody. Let's see. It's so good! It's so damn good! How did he do it? This unironically is like one of my favorite songs, even if I combine it with the Undertale and Deltarune soundtrack. Like this matches some of those in quality. I genuinely like this almost as much as things like Spider Dance. Like I would even say it's on the same level as Metal Crusher. This shit's so damn good. It's too bad that there's no upload specifically of this song. So I've been listening to this specific video with the whole soundtrack and I just have to keep rewinding. Yeah, I unironically listen to this. Remember the melody, by the way. If I go back to Ronald's normal theme, right? It's the same melody. He uses leitmotifs. And I mean, technically using leitmotifs is just being lazy. But I don't know, I never really listened to the rest of the soundtrack. And I recently replayed this game just so I can give more accurate criticism of it. And I heard this song for the first time since beating the game. And I was like, holy shit, this is literally Ronald's theme. So I thought that was cool. And now, the last thing and a half that I want to talk about is the likability and like my final judgment. The thing is, I think one of the aspects that this game suffers most from is just likability. I don't know if that's just me. Some things are cool, right? But let's look at the characters, for example. I've already said this, but the characters are just not too great. John Laurel has said that Wonderworld is basically an Undertale-inspired game where he gets to fill the whole world with his own lore and characters. But the lore is not too deep, and the characters are probably the most unappealing aspect of this game. And I think this is super sad. I think characters can make or break a whole, I don't know, show, game, anything. This main guy, his design pisses me off for some reason. I'm gonna get like some better screenshot of him. But he's basically like a hoodie with eyes and legs. Super tiny legs as well. Ever since I first saw the guy, I thought, god damn, this is like... You can tell that this was drawn by a 14-year-old. And I don't know what to compare this style to. In my mind, I always compare it to Jaden Animations. Why? I don't know. But this is like someone who would watch that kind of channel. I don't really appreciate the character, the protagonist design. The mouse character, for example, right? This character appears in exactly one scene. I don't know what's up with that, but that's like one of the unique places in the game. You have to carry this mouse over a bridge, and it's like, sure. But the mouse, it's literally just a mouse and a cloak. That's all there's to it. I hate this voice. Shut up, please. The cover is like a perfect example. Look at the characters, right? Weird banana, star guy who has bob hands and very tiny legs. Weird garbage guy, basically like a purple trubbish. Just a shape. A weird mosquito that has like yellow sunglasses and not the best color scheme, if I have to say so myself. This guy is alright. I don't like his personality. How do I put this? His quirk. But the design itself is okay. This just looks like a crackhead. This looks like a homeless woman. It looks so fucking pathetic. I lost my voice. I already lost my voice. I've been talking for 40 minutes. Okay, so I'm starting to suffer a little, but this guy for some reason just looks like a crazy version of this guy. I don't know what's up with that, but they have like the same colors and everything. This weird robot radio beetle guy, again, pretty mid, pretty whatever. This crocodile thing, again, I don't really like it. The hair is weird. Ronald, I'd say is pretty good. He reminds me of the donkey guy from Agretzko. I'd say that Ronald is like basically the only character in the whole game who has a good design. I think Ronald carries the entire cast, not only in design but in personality. There's a bit of a problem with the characters in this game, and it's that you meet them once and they have basically one character trait. There's not really a whole lot of depth to any of them. They're quite one-dimensional. They like one thing, or they have one problem, issue that they're dealing with. For example, there's actually, for some reason, I only fought him on my first playthrough. On my second playthrough, I completely missed him. Maybe it was the star guy. Might have been him. In fact, I think it was this guy. His quirk is being a JoJo fan. And I'm not making this shit up. His entire shtick throughout the entire battle is just that he likes JoJo. And he calls himself a JoJo f***it. When I saw this on my first playthrough, I was like, huh? It was so out of nowhere. It's like a pretty kid-friendly game made by a child, and then suddenly one of the characters drops the F slur. John clearly doesn't really realize that some words in English are like no words that shouldn't be used. Personally, I don't mind. I don't really believe in the concept of words that shouldn't be said, but if the game got more popular, that could have been a bit of a problem, and it did catch me quite off guard, to be honest. Also, one thing I didn't mention is that after a battle with each monster, you like meet them again after a couple minutes, like shortly after the battle. It kind of looks like a battle, but it's just a discussion. You get topics to choose from. You have to go through all of them, and the monster just talks about their personal life and more lore from the game, which I think is cool. I kind of like that aspect. I've been kind of shitting on this game. I've mostly been very critical of most of the stuff. I think I exaggerate how big of an issue these things are. Despite everything I've said, it's worth a shot, I'd say. I think the game would be like a massive success if John fixed mainly the character design and traits. And to be honest, that's basically it. I think with just that one change, the whole, I guess, franchise would be pretty damn good. Despite the fact that I've criticized this game so much, I still, at the end of the day, kind of like it. It's nothing spectacular, but just the fact that it exists, like once you consider the context, conceptually is just fascinating. It's really interesting to me. That's why I'm talking about it. Despite the fact that the game is not the best, the sort of awkwardness, I guess, gives it its own charm. You can see that it was made by a young, inexperienced person, but at the same time, some aspects are weirdly good, like Ronald's theme and some backdrops, some like textures and stuff. I hope that eventually more people find out about this thing. Maybe one day Wonderworld will be finished. Maybe one day it will not be just a demo, but the whole thing. I don't really think that's gonna happen. I honestly think that we're not gonna get any updates ever, which is a bit sad. I guess it just be like that. By the way, John is extremely inaccessible online. The day I beat the game, I wrote like an entire ass review of the game in his Twitter DMs because I saw he was active on Twitter. Motherfucker didn't respond. Also, he completely ignores all of his comments. I've never seen him interact with any comment or anything. He ignores DMs. He ignores comments on HIO. He responded to some of the first ones, but then eventually he just kind of gave up. And so this man is just completely inaccessible, right? I don't know what I would gain from him reading my criticisms, but Personally, it just really pisses me off when someone doesn't, acknowledge it when other people try to contact them. Like, come on, just read your DMs, just read. Overall, very simple conclusion. It's a bit of an awkward game, but it's nice. Conceptually, it's interesting. The one thing that carries the whole game is absolutely Ronald, with his personality and his themes, and also some of the jokes. Most of the jokes that actually land in this game are from Ronald or about Ronald. And there's also one sort of Easter egg. When you go to one of the shops, there's like a cookie with a weird looking face on it. And I think that item is extremely funny. I don't know why. Oh yeah, this is comedy. But yeah, some of the jokes land, and when they do, they're fantastic. So it's kind of a funny game. And I'm starting to repeat myself quite a lot. I'm not good at reviewing, but I am fantastic at talking for 52 minutes now. And I think I should just end it here. I wanted to talk in a way that I could insert some clips of my second playthrough. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, to be honest. Like, I really don't know how I'm gonna edit this video, considering it's just me talking and the footage would be completely unrelated. But I guess that's a problem for me in about 15 minutes. My next positive rant is gonna be about BFDI. It's not gonna be anything too fantastic. It's basically gonna be the same as this video, just me saying that it's cool because it exists somehow. But I still want to shout in the void. The channel that this is going to has an audience of one person who already knows my opinion on this game, but I just feel the need to talk about it anyway. So this channel is gonna serve as a way for me to just post shit. There's probably not gonna be a whole lot, just this, the other video, possibly, maybe not, probably not, to be completely honest, but maybe at some point. And probably just a lot of like memes and reaction memes. I'm gonna walk away now.